Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. It is mailbag time, so get those questions in, hashtag Bears or Super Chat, and we will answer as many as we possibly can. Scott Osborne with the Bears changing to a 4-3. The nickelback would only be on the field in passing situations, so who will fill that spot? Would Thomas Graham be a good option? So it's going to be Tavon Young or Thomas Graham who's going to start at nickel. I would give Tavon Young the slight edge. Being a vet and being a guy when healthy has been, I would say, a top 10 nickel in the NFL. He's obviously missed a lot of games due to injuries, but I think Thomas Graham will get an opportunity. Adam Johns reported that he's competing for that spot, so we'll see what happens, but I would give the edge to Tavon Young. Tyler Smith, trade Robert Quinn for a first and a seventh. I don't think you're getting a first for Quinn. Based on his production last year, you would think you might, but he's 32. He's kind of had this topsy-turvy career where one year he's great, the next year not so much. Also, his contract's not great. It's got like 3 years and $51 million left on it, so don't think you get a first. I think if you got a second, you'd be like, let's take it and move on. But I'm not convinced the Bears have been offered that. JF1, Bears forever, and then we'll get to that super chat. Trade Quinn to the Seahawks for DK. I mean, you're not straight up, that would not get it done. Quinn in a second? Maybe? Although, why would Seattle want a 32-year-old pass rusher when they're rebuilding themselves? It sounds good on the surface, but I don't think it's, realistic for Chicago to expect Seattle to take a trade of that caliber. Dr. Don Kedick, Ph.D., is Aaron Rodgers retiring after this year? One can hope, Doc. One can hope. We'll see. He has hinted the last couple of years and did so again recently that, retirement is not far off. Maybe this year will go poorly with their garbage receivers, and he'll say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to ride into the sunset on Blue Dragon or whatever his new girlfriend's name is. I can't keep up with the guy anymore. The guy just gets weirder by the day. But I don't know. I think it's possible, but who the hell knows at this point. I'll say this. We always say FGB, which we can get those going in the comments. But FAR as well. F Aaron Rodgers. Screw Aaron. He's the smartest guy in the room, or at least he thinks so. But you know what's true? He always loses big games in the playoffs. So get the FARs going down below. We got Larry with the $5 super. H, you haven't been able to predict anything negative about the Bears players. Do you feel that's normal for a guy leading a team channel? First of all, I would not say I haven't said negative things. I've said this offensive line needs work and they need to sign players. I've also said that this is a new regime and games haven't even started yet. I mean, do you want me to say, Justin Fields is going to throw 25 picks and he's hopelessly screwed and, this and that and the other? I guess I could say that. I've also said I don't think this defensive tackle group's that good. So, I'm trying to be half glass full with this new regime while also taking a look at the big picture, which I don't think everything's about the 2022 season. But I understand what you're saying. There's certainly concerns on this team. I'm just trying to have a bit of a positive approach. But I don't think I've stood up here and acted like everything is roses and ponies either. Like, I don't think I've done that. Sangray Kim, $5 super. Just realized drafting Roquan was a failure. Darius Leonard was picked 28 picks after Roquan. Now it's pretty clear Darius is on another level. I wouldn't say Roquan being the pick was a failure. Maybe he's a tick below Darius Leonard, but Darius Leonard's like the best backer in the game, arguably. Roquan's pretty damn close. Like, if he's a tick below Leonard and Fred Warner and a couple others, okay, it's still a good pick. But you're always negative, so that's not really a surprise. Okay, have you guys subscribed to Bears Now on Callin? Type Y for yes, type in for no. If you're typing Y for yes, that's awesome. We go live every single Tuesday after our YouTube live shows. If you're typing in for no, it's one of two things. One, you don't know what Callin is, or two, you're just not interested. Here's the deal. Answer yes or no. Also, here's some reasons why you should follow us on Callin. Well, explaining what it is. Audio social podcasting app. That sounds really fancy. It's Twitter Spaces, but better, basically. There's a caller queue. You guys can hop in, join the show. We can chop it up back and forth. You ask me your questions. There's also a live chat feature if you don't want to call in, you just want to listen, but interact in the live chat. That's a lot of fun. It's your chance to call in and talk to me directly. We go back and forth. We have a good time. We don't always have to agree. We can disagree. You can shoot me a question. I can shoot you an answer, and we have a conversation. I like these live Q&As on YouTube, but I like hearing from you guys as well. That's what can happen on Call-In. So subscribe, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. There's also a link to download on iOS and Android in the description of this video. Plus, if you're watching on a Fire Stick or in some other way on a TV, maybe you got your HDMI plugged into your laptop or whatever, take a photo of this. It's a QR code. It'll redirect you to Bears Now on Call-In. You can subscribe right there. I will say this. If you subscribe to Call-In on your computer, not your phone, you can still listen to us, but you can't actually call in. You have to be on a mobile device to call into the show. So chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Check it out. We go live every Tuesday after YouTube Live. Coach Nagy back in the chat. Do you ever work? Trevor Siemian starts 1.5 games this season. Over under. That's a good question because, I don't love how this offensive line sits, so that could lead to more possibility of injury. But I think the way this offense will run, and just Fields, picking things up quicker, he'll take less hits. I'll be optimistic. I'll go under. I know Larry's not going to be happy with that answer, but trying to be optimistic here. But look, it's possible Siemian has to start some, just like any other quarterback in the NFL. Chi-Town 65, Harrison, forget A-Rod. Dub Bears. F-A-R. F-A-R. Get it going in the chat. Appreciate the super. Don Burr, get the F-D-E-Ts going. He's saying F-C-H-I, stealing my bit here. Type F-D-E-T in the comments right now. Drown Donnie Burr out, and let's make it happen. Danger, could Jenkins on second team signify he is likely to play right guard? I don't really feel that way because if that's the case, he needs to get reps at guard. I think that's assuming a lot that he can just kick inside and he's good to go. If he hasn't worked it as a tackle, which I'm not saying that's the case, but if that's the case, why are we to believe that, he'll just kick inside and be a star there, or even just a starting caliber player? He needs work at guard if they're going to play him at right guard. I'll say that. Mustafa, what are some trade options from teams in cap trouble that can trade a player for Quinn? Trade a player, so like a player-for-player trade? You guys have thrown the DK idea for it. How about this? How about a Terry McLaurin for Quinn and a pick? Because Washington may want to add another pass rusher if they're worried about keeping Montez Sweat long term. So maybe that could work. I don't know why they would want to trade McLaurin, but player-for-player trades are a lot harder in the NFL than they are for, say, in the NBA. Subscribe to Bears Now if you love this team and if you're enjoying what you're seeing on your screen. If you want to support me, it's free. Hit that subscribe button. Link is down below, youtube.com/BearsNow. More news, rumors, updates, Q&As all off-season long. Mark 485, you think Pettis could become a number 2 wide receiver if he puts in the work? That would surprise me. Pettis is fighting for a roster spot. That would be quite the jump to go from the outside looking in to actually being a number 2 or even a number 3. I think if you're Dante Pettis, make the team and be like a number 4. That would be good strides for him. I don't think he's going to be a number 2. I liked him coming out of college. He played well as a rookie, but he's been pretty spotty since then. I think that is way too high of expectations. The Gabe, do the Bears get Terry McLaurin? I mean, I'd love it. I like Scary Terry. He's a stud. He's averaged over 1,000 yards through his 3 seasons playing with 8 different quarterbacks. Sounds like he'd fit right in with the Bears. So I'd like to see it. Do I think it's realistic? Not necessarily. Is a free agent next year, though, so maybe that could be more of an opportunity. H. Bark, over under 1,200 yards from Mooney with the new, hopefully, competent coaching staff and offense. I think that, 1,100 feels like more of an over-under. He had over 1,000 last year with the garbage offense. I think 1,200 is possible, but still installing the offense, still early. If he goes for over 1,200 yards, H-Bark, he is established as a true number one in this league. Tumblr Doge. Doge is dead, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on Khalil Herbert next year? I feel like he was fantastic. We can give him the ball. If you're talking about next year as in like 2023, my thoughts are he could start if David Montgomery's gone. If you're talking about next year as in 3 months from now, this season, I think you build off last year. He gets some opportunities as the number 2 back behind Monty, and hopefully he takes advantage of those and at least gives the Bears something to think about in terms of extending Monty or not. That should be Khalil Herbert's goal. His goal should be sending a message to Ryan Poles and this coaching staff like, hey, if Monty comes back, cool, but if not, you can trust me being the starter. That should be his goal for this season. Appreciate the super. Roquan Smith for Defensive Player of the Year. Hopefully, that'd be awesome. It's harder for a linebacker to win it because they don't put like the loud stats up like a corner can with interceptions, like a pass rusher can with sacks. But let's say he had multiple picks, multiple sacks, ton of tackles, just flies around, then who knows? Bears would probably have to be pretty good for him to win the award, though. Who would you trade Quinn to? It's hard to say. I might do a Robert Quinn trade destinations video. Depending on when you're watching this, maybe I've already done that video. But there's some teams out there that could use a pass rusher. Stay tuned. Alan Melendez, will you make a way too soon 53-man roster? Yes. After minicamp, probably early next week, I will do that video. Maybe this week, but it's a busy week with updates coming out of minicamp. I want to take advantage of that and get you guys caught up on the news. But yes, we will do a 53-man roster prediction video. Maybe that'll be, I think I'm working Sunday. Maybe that'll be Sunday's video. I think that could work. Okay, if you made it this far in the video, spam squad in the comments. That means you're a loyal one to Bears Now. You're a fan of my work, and it means you're a subscriber. So you got to be subscribed to Spam Squad. If you haven't subbed, make it happen. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Type squad if you made it this far in the video.